Hello, and welcome to our ninth week of Hebrew. This week, we begin verbs. We begin with the Cal perfect strong verb. So, fortunately, we're only going through one chapter this week, so you'll have an opportunity to very much focus on this Cal strong verb. But first, let's look at our vocabulary. It's on pages 148 and 149. Barak, to bless. Zakar, to remember, recall, bring to mind, and you'll recognize this name or this word as a part of an Old Testament name. Zechariah means Yahweh remembers, and it comes from this word Zakar and then Yah, Zechariah, Yahweh remembers. Zakan, to become old. Chazak, to become or to grow strong, firm, or have courage. Yada, to know sexually, intimately, to have understanding. Kavav, to be heavy, to be honored. And oftentimes the word Shekinah, which we translate glory, will also, or Shekinah, which we translate presence, will be related to this word Kavav, Shekinah Kavav, the weight of God's glory or the weight of his presence, to be honored. Kathav, to write upon, register, record. Malay, to be full, to fill. Malak, to become king or queen, reign or rule. Matzah, to find out, reach, obtain. Pakar, to attend, pay attention to, take care of, member, appoint, visit. Shakav, to lie down, to have sexual intercourse. Shalach, to send, stretch out. And Shamar, to watch over, to guard, to keep, observe, and protect. And of course, Shamar derives from the word Shema, which means to hear, to understand, to see, to perceive. So Shamar, to watch, to guard, observe, and protect. So that's your vocabulary for this week. So let's go over a little bit about this Cal perfect strong verb. There are some paradigms, and you're going to have to memorize these Cal paradigms. Remember what I told you last week. Over 70% of all verbs are in the Cal. So they're going to be Cal weak, Cal strong, Cal imperative, Cal imperfect, Cal perfect, but they're all going to be in that Cal genre. So to memorize your Cal paradigms is extremely important. So there are there's almost 72,000 verbs in the Hebrew Bible, and over 2/3 of them are in the Cal or in some sort of Cal stem. So the Cal is the simple or basic verbal stem. The Cal verbs are active in voice, though there are a few passive forms that do exist. The Cal stem also exhibits a simple or unnuanced type of action. An example of a verb is in the Cal stem is katal. Katal means to kill or he killed. The simple action of the Cal stem is further divided into transitive, intransitive, and stative. Transitive verbs take on a direct object. In the example, the prophet wrote the book. The word book is the direct object of the verb wrote because it receives the verbal action. So this is transitive because these verbs take on a direct object. She sailed the ship. So ship is the direct object of sailed, and that's transitive. Intransitive verbs cannot take a direct object. The English verb perish, for example, as in the king perished in battle, cannot take a direct object. Other examples of intransitive verbs include to live, to die, and to fast. Stative verbs are used to describe a state of being. In the example, the priest is old. Verbal construction is old describes the state or condition of the subject, the priest. In English, a stative or state of being idea is expressed with the form of the verb to be, and an adjective to be is an adjective old. In Hebrew, a stative idea may be expressed through various verbs themselves, such as kavav, to be heavy, and katan, to be small. Most stative verbs are considered to be intransitive because they cannot take a direct object. The perfect conjugation is used to express a completed action or state of being. When used to describe a completed action, either in reality or in the mind of the speaker, the Hebrew perfect may be translated by the English past tense, he studied. The present perfect may be The present perfect, he has studied. The past perfect, he had studied. Or future perfect, he will study. Now, what we're doing this week, though, is the Cal perfect of the strong verb. We'll get into some more of these nuances as our final weeks approach. But you need to know in 13.5, you need to know this paradigm. Katal, katala, katalt, to call, to katelt, katali, katalu, kataltam, kataltan, katalna. He killed, she killed, you killed in the feminine, I killed, they killed, you killed masculine, you killed feminine, we killed first common plural. You need to be so familiar with those endings that you can just recite them one after another. You're also given another paradigm on page in 13.7 of to dwell, shav, to remember, zakar, to write, katav, to keep, shamar, together, kabatz. So know those endings. These endings are the same as the ones in 13.5. The only thing that changes is the root, the prefix root. So look for those suffix endings because that's going to let you know the person, number, and gender of these Cal perfect strong verbs. So some things, some notes to remember. With regard to gender, 3 forms of the perfect conjugation are listed as common, meaning not inflected for gender. The common forms are first person singular, first person plural, and third person plural. As common forms, these verbs can be used with either masculine or feminine subjects. Once you've mastered the spelling and pronunciation of the Cal perfect paradigm, you're encouraged to practice the inflection with other strong verbs. And that's given to you on 13.7, so you have something to look at. The presence of the metheg, and remember what the metheg is. It's that connecting bar. The presence of the metheg in the third feminine singular and third common plural forms serves to identify the vowel as a comets and not comets hatuf. So the metheg, if you look at your third feminine singular, and no, I'm sorry, the metheg, it's not the horizontal bar, it's that diagonal bar to the left of the comets, and that's going to identify this as a comets and not a comets hatuf vowel, and that's how you're going to be able to tell the difference. Now, when I write sentences for you, my computer does not allow me to put this metheg in there, so that shouldn't make a difference with your translation, though. But just know that the templates that we have for Hebrew will not allow us to translate or to type out that metheg. So we just have to trust that you'll be able to know the difference. So those are some main points for you to remember. And this week will be heavy. Your quiz is going to be, of course, heavy on vocabulary, as always. You'll have approximately 25 words to translate. Then the remainder is there's going to be one section of parsing and then another section of translating some sentences. So be ready for that and just know that it's coming. I'm also going to post a video that I found on YouTube, and it's a professor doing a session a session on the Cal Perfect, and he does a really good job. So I thought I would just post it. It's just reinforcement for what's already in your book and some of what you've already heard me say. So blessings to you guys, and I'll get your quiz posted by Thursday night, more than likely, and I'll try to get the rest of your Hebrew quizzes graded by the end of the week. God bless.